and welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce, and it's time for a little NBA basketball. Thursday night in the NBA. It'll be the Los Angeles Clippers facing off against the San Antonio Spurs. And now off to AT&T Center with our crew of Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who are ready to call the game.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah. It's been a ride.
You can try and read my lyrics off of this paper before I lay 'em, but you won't take the sting out these words before I say I'ma be what I set out to be, without a doubt, undoubtedly. And all those who look down on me, I'm tearing down your balcony. No ifs, ands, or buts, don't try to ask him.
Opening night and time to check out the starting lineups to the tip-off of the new season. First for the Clippers, CP3 and Jamal Crawford make the back. And inside at center, a long 6'11", the skyscraping big man out of Texas A&M, DeAndre Jordan. Then there's Danny Granger, and it's Griffin in at the power forward position. And for San Antonio, in the backcourt, Parker and Ginobili. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4 spot. And poor shot selection there, not a high percentage look for him.
Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio, really kind of growing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time.
Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Doc Rivers.
I asked him what they needed to key in on defensively, and he said, well, we've got to limit penetration by Tony Parker. He's really the, quote, head of the snake, and with his floater, he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to score. It's crucial that we do our best to keep him outside the lane. Guys, that's no easy assignment. We'll see how much success they have defensively.
Thanks, Doris. And Splitter taken 28th by the Spurs way back in the 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons for him to come over from Spain. And as Greg Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, and I think it was a wait worth making,
yes.
Quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too.
San Antonio's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Dishes it to Ginobili. Pass to Parker. He kicks to Leonard. Lets the 3 fly.
Still looking for their first basket. 5 misses to start the game. You know, the Clippers were a much improved defensive team last season. A lot of it comes from their point guard position, where Paul can really ball hawk opposing ball handlers. This team was first in the league in steals last season and top 3 in turnover differential.
You know, Kevin, he never gives up on a play. That's what I love about him. He's just one of those guys who will bring effort and energy the entire 48 minutes.
And I know something else the fans love about him is the way he's capable of going straight over the top of a defender for some monster throwdowns. I mean, we're talking about posterization with capital letters.
And across the NBA, a lot of the offenses rely on that point guard to initiate things and get the team set up in the half court. If a floor general is being hounded around the whole time, it can really throw a wrench in the offense.
Well, for the Clippers, that was a big part of their defense last year. Chris Paul and Eric Bledsoe could both really pressure the point, but with Bledsoe now in Phoenix, I don't think the Clippers defense is quite as good at the point of attack.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Wide open. And too long on the shot.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
San Antonio again missing.
almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
Collison kicks to Barnes. Off target from outside. Spurs trail by 6. Day is guarded by Davis. Day, no good. The shot and game clock separated by 4. And here's Turkoglu from the arc. That's good. Green dishes to James. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. The Clippers on top, leading by 6. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this.
Wednesday, November 13th. Fatty.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Here's Davis. Goes up to the stripe. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
Boy, you look at Glenn Davis out of LSU, guys, and he might have made one heck of a left tackle in football. 6'9", close to 300 lb. He's as strong as they come, and yet surprisingly as quick-footed as any big man in the league.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hey, Kevin. Well, for the Los Angeles Clippers, the pieces seem to be coming together for a deep run. It all started with the acquisition of coach Doc Rivers, who was also given a lead role in basketball decision-making. Follow that up with the trade for J.J. Redick and Jared Dudley. That gives the team great shooting on the wings. And both players expressed their excitement to play for the Clips. Guys, this once downtrodden franchise has become a destination.
Winning situation, Doris. Thanks. That was good. And Glenn Davis, an improving rebounder in recent years, and Stevie uses his size well defensively.
He's tough to back down. He's got a barrel chest, strong legs. Offensively, he's not a guy who finishes over the top, but he's crafty in the way he can go through bodies and kind of find ways to get the ball into the basket.
Los Angeles making a switch here. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Davis. Griffin comes in for Matt Barnes. Danny Granger is checked in for Jared Dudley. And it's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. And the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Splitter. That's his first foul. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Bellinelli. Griffin. Rebound, San Antonio.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Ginobili misses.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there. Great-looking bounce pass to set up that play.
Parker kicks to Ginobili. Leonard, the pass to Ginobili. Here's Parker with the three. Shot's good. Back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
And the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Splitter. That'll be his second foul of the game. Snatched away. And Parker with a clear path to the hoop. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for the Spurs?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, I do too, and I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
You know, one of the stranger things of Tim Duncan's Hall of Fame career is how his free throw percentage has fluctuated from season to season, guys. Some years in the 70s, others in the low 60s. Last year was a good one for Timmy, though, as he shot well over 70.
Corey Joseph's checked in for Tony Parker. Granger, he's covered by Leonard. And Ginobili pulls it down.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
Despite their shooting woes in the first quarter, they have the lead and really look like they're about to build on that. They've got positive momentum and doing a pretty good job here in this quarter.
The Spurs making a switch here. James is checked in.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
The Clippers shooting their first free throws of the evening. Guido Turkel is checked in for DeAndre Jordan.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Passes to Paul. No good on the triple. A sensation.
And now, brought to you by the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
You got that right. I mean, he'll do it from three-point land or anywhere on the perimeter, really, because he is a deadly shooter. You've got to do a better job defensively.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Gentlemen, Chris Paul re-signed with the Los Angeles Clippers this offseason, a 5-year max contract for over $100 million. But he held the Clippers' feet to the fire before he did, pressuring them to acquire coach Doc Rivers, who was also given final say in the front office. And Chris Paul winning a championship is his ultimate goal, and he hasn't been shy about throwing his weight around off the court as well as on it. Kevin?
Well, he's certainly doing just that. Thank you, Doris. Here's Leonard. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Now it's a 7-point San Antonio lead.
You know, you survey other point guards in the league and ask them who their toughest assignment is, and a lot of them will tell you it's Tony Parker. I mean, his ability to weave in and out at the speed he does just drives would-be defenders mad over the course of 4 quarters. Parker is always in attack mode.
Yeah, they're going to need some help there defensively. That matchup is going to be a tough one to deal with.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul. Some changes here for the Spurs. Boris Diaz checked in for Splitter. Bellinelli comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Los Angeles calls timeout. And Clark, you mentioned the penetration ability of Tony Parker. He really has become the focal point of the Spurs drive and kick offense, Steve. So fun to watch.
Yeah, you talk about his speed and quickness, but it's really all about the overall skill level, the ability to finish it in the lane, the knockdown jump shooting, the free throw shooting also improved. It's incredible how well-rounded Parker has become.
Is he the fastest point guard, you think, in the NBA?
I would say yes.
You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of. If you don't want your pocket picked, here are last season's steals leaders. Number 1, Chris Paul.
So many nights when he controlled the game through his defense. No accident that he finished ranked where he was.
Back to Jordan. To end the run. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. And by virtue of their NBA schedule, their first game of the new year is against the Los Angeles Clippers.
Well, we saw how competitive and entertaining the season series was between these two teams last year. That was fun to watch.
Crawford with the ball. Now Green defending. Shot from the wing. And the jumper is good. Here's San Antonio now. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. That's good. And the Spurs lead by 11. And they match up really well.
Kevin, they really do. Sometimes it comes down to the X factor when these two teams play. And really, it could go either way. They're that evenly matched.
Matt Barnes is checked in for Danny Granger. Here's Collison. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
Green kicks to Parker. Shot clock at 6. Green from deep three-point range. Here's Barnes. Rebound San Antonio. Their next game is at the Rockets Arena in Houston for a game with the Rockets. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
And you know, for the Rockets, that's a game they'd really like to have.
San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. And there's Darren Collison on the assist by Paul. Collison's got his second basket.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
Mills with it. He's against Collison. Mills can't hit.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
The third quarter comes to a...
The new season in the NBA rolls.
And the final period of play just about to start. Spurs leading by 7. James outside. He dishes it to Mills. 5 on the clock. The pass. The splitter. And the shot falls short this time. Clippers trail by 7. Shoots off the step back. And the shot is good. 6 points for Jamal Crawford.
Well, he's established himself as one of the league's premier clutch performers, with some unbelievable plays down the stretch of tight ball games.
And I don't think we can talk about him without also mentioning his tendency to just erupt and string together a bunch of baskets in a row in a real short period of time.
Spurs leading by 8. To the paint. Lays it in off a pretty alley-oop.
How nice is that alley-oop? Those two really have a good connection.
Read each other so well, it's a play I'm sure Clark they love to run.
And as the receiver, you feel like he had the need to go for the monster finish. Just laying it in, making sure he got the points.
A different look now for San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard comes in for James. And it's Ginobili in for Splitter. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
Griffin attacking. Pass to Crawford. Jamal Crawford. They need this. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Well, Jamal has always been able to provide a spark of offense in a hurry, but last year he was a force unto his own coming off the bench. A terrific mid-level acquisition for the Clippers.
Clippers trailed by 11. Paul kicks to Granger. Three-pointer. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists in the game. And for Crawford with the Clippers, his best shooting since the 2009-2010 season, Steve, when he won the 6th Man of the Year award.
Well, and he came close to winning it again last season with the Clippers.
Sure did.
He's a guy who can create his shot as well as anybody in the league. And the ability to hit tough shots. He's the kind of player you want at the end of games. He can create something out of nothing and hit winning shots.
And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
Both free throws, good from Crawford. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're in front by 10. 1:04 left here in the 4th quarter. We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. Kicks to Ginobili. Back to Leonard. Ginobili outside. Back to Green. 4 on the shot clock. He feeds it to Duncan. And that one's good. 35 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Los Angeles calls timeout. They're behind by 8. We've got 28 seconds left in the 4th quarter. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Crawford, no luck. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Parker kicks to Leonard. Green, guarded by Jordan. Feeds it to Leonard. Shot on the wing. And so it's San Antonio with the win.